Okay, it is about 8:30 in the morning, and first of all, hello. How is everybody? I hope you are all doing well. I'm just getting breakfast together, and I've decided that we are not going to go to the thrift stores today. I'm not interested in hitting the stores, but I've got things I want to share with you, so we're just going to do it at home. So I got to get breakfast out of the way first. I'm not the only one that adds cheese to their eggs, right? I don't put milk in. Was adding milk to your eggs a way to increase the yield? I don't, I never do that. I think my mom, maybe her mother used to do that. I don't do it. Anyway, we're gonna get some cheese in these eggs. I am going to add a bagel. We'll throw a banana in there, some avocado. We're getting ourselves about 700 calories or so. I'm gonna eat, which you are not going to see. And then we're gonna go over some interesting items that I have found in stores and on marketplace recently that I want to share with you in hopes that you find these items yourself. And then maybe we'll go into detail about each item here. But I am not leaving the house, and you are stuck with me here. So let me finish this up, and then we'll start talking business. All right, got some errands out of the way. It's now around noon, and it's time to start sharing. So the first item that I'm going to share with you, I actually just sold this overnight. This is a vintage Patagonia. They call it a shelled chinchilla. Say that 5 times fast. Shelled chinchilla bomber jacket. It's the back of it, navy blue, size XL. The model number on this one is 28135. Great jacket, sold quickly. Now the reason I took 80 for it rather than waiting for the right buyer is it's March. I don't want to carry Patagonia through a season. And even though this is vintage, I want to share this with you regarding the brand. I want you to pay attention to post 2022 quality of Patagonia. And the reason I think that's something that you should focus on is in 2022, the owner of the company, it's not an old company, it's only 50 years old. I think they were founded in 73. But he transferred the company and ownership of it into 2 trusts. So he basically gave up the company, and anytime there's new ownership, things change. So there's the potential for the quality of the items coming out of that brand to diminish or drop. There's probably somewhere like in the documents of the transfer, the paperwork, this guy was really big on climate change. So he was very sort of adamant about, I'm going to give you this company, but here's how you're going to handle it. But policy changes, regime changes, politics, laws change, tariffs. You don't know what the company's going to look like in even a couple years. We're 3 years out now from that transfer, and there's the potential for the brand's quality to drop. So pay attention to the items that you source post 222 from Patagonia, because it might not be as good as it used to be. I can't get $50 now for the better sweaters that I find unless it's like a unique color. I used to get 50 for them. Now it's more like 30 to 40. That's basically a supply thing. I don't think that that's a quality thing. It's just something to pay attention to regarding Patagonia. But that vintage bomber jacket, right buyer would have come across my desk at some point at $120. I'm absolutely happy to take 80 for it. All right, next up is The Ohio State University. Now, this is obvious to some. It might not be obvious to a good number of you. I source in Columbus, Ohio, which is home to the Ohio State University. So I see tons of Ohio State gear, and I tend to glaze over a lot of it. But there are certain items, because of the size and scope of the brand Ohio State, you're not just going to see this in Columbus. You'll see them all over the US. Now, this shoe is probably one that's a little bit harder to find. This Nike collab, the style number on it is, let me look, 844102-603. These are a size 11. I don't have any competition for a size 11 in this exact shoe, so I have it listed at $55. The soles are in great shape, but if you're outside of Ohio, still likely to find these, even though these were probably made in more limited quantities than like one that's not school branded. But you'll still, it's such a huge fan base. We're all over. Just won the national championship. And so you're likely to see something like this, but it might not be obvious for some of you like it is for me. And again, like I pass over so much Ohio State stuff because I see it every day, but this is one of the ones that if it's in good condition, you want to pick it up. These will sell between $50 and $55. And there just aren't that many of them listed, but you're bound to run into a Nike Ohio State shoe collaboration. And when you do, make sure you look it up, especially this style with like I don't even know what you call that. Almost looks like, not like, I want to say waffle and weave, but that's not it. But this is definitely one to keep your eye on. Great soles, $55, maybe a minimum 50. They've got like the little Buckeye helmet stickers on the side. This is a good one. Keep your eye out for this style Nike Ohio State collab shoe. Okay, the next thing that I want to show you is this hat, this Live Lucky hat. Let me get that in focus. You can see it says Live Lucky. I got to come out to get it to focus. And the brand is Black Clover. I think what is making this brand popular, and I could be wrong, is that Tony Robbins has been seen wearing them. And so that may have to do in part with the popularity of this brand. There's nothing to it, just a basic fitted hat. I don't normally pick up fitted hats. This one does have Top Golf branding on it, and so that might slow the sale just a little bit, but it is brand new with tags. It retailed at, I don't know if I can focus in on that. It's a little bit blurry. $44 was the retail price, but it's got the Clover on the front. You know, we're getting close to St. Patrick's Day. Maybe this will increase the likelihood that I sell it sooner than later. I don't really know, but I think this is a Tony Robbins thing. And so the hats sell incredibly well. If there's another reason that you know of that I'm not bringing up, feel free to let everybody know. But brand new with tags, Live Lucky Black Clover hat with some Top Golf branding. Look for that right there. And then as for price, I think I'm going to list this between probably $25 and $30. Everyone I get sells, so I'm going to continue to pick it up. Brand new with tags, even though it's fitted, definitely will sell, and I hope I can sell this in March with St. Patrick's Day coming up. Okay, next brand, Filson. This was a very lucky find. This is a game vest or hunting vest with straps. It is vintage Filson. I don't know if you can see that tag properly, but the size, they're calling it super. It's cotton. It is oiled. I don't know if you can see that on the, you can tell that it's oiled, but this is definitely vintage. Leather belt. You'll see the newer ones are plastic, nylon. This one is definitely over 20 years old, very vintage. I have this listed at $150. Filson as a brand, extremely good and loyal following. Much like Patagonia, the quality is still very high, but if you can't find Filson, I found this one, so this person must have owned both of these. The Browning brand right here, which is, you know, still very nice. I don't know what size this one is. Let me show you the logo. There's the logo, and it says Pheasants Forever. This one I have listed for, I think, 33 to 35. And you can tell, you know, I think from a quality perspective, the Filson one is sort of head and shoulders above that one. But Browning will still sell. They sell brand new. I forget what the style is called on that one, but they sell new on eBay for around $65. So I thought pricing it at $35. But the Filson tin cloth one, that's like waxed or oily, this was pretty spectacular. This is a great find. So again, the size is super. Filson, if you weren't aware of it, put it on your radar, but definitely Browning as a alternative will sell as well. So $30 to $35 for that one, but $150 for the Filson. That was a super lucky pickup. Next one, I almost forgot about this brand because I see it so infrequently. Tiem, T-I-E-M. They call this the Slipstream cycling shoe. Black geometric is the color. These are in basically like new condition. I actually, now that I'm looking at them closer, I've already photographed it and listed it. I have them listed for $60. On their website, they are $135 retail, brand new, but I think I could probably increase my price a little bit. take a look at that if you have never seen that. It is very, I guess, unsuspecting, but cycling, we have spring coming up, so selling bike shoes, you would think that you would sell them more than you would in the wintertime. So I think this is a good timely pickup. That's what the bottom looks like. That's what the midsole looks like, and it's Tiem. Slipstream cycling shoes. This is a women's size 10 and UK 7.5, European size 41. If you haven't heard of this brand, they definitely sell. I don't know, again, because I've only sold maybe 1 or 2 of them previously, I can't tell you if they're like always fast sellers or not. And this is a cycling shoe, so it probably has a seasonal aspect to it if we're talking about the like frequency that they'll sell or the volume. But so maybe it's seasonally dependent, but they are definitely a bolo item. Keep your eye out for them. Tiem cycling shoes, 60, but I might adjust my price a little bit. I mean, there's not, I don't even think these were used, to be totally honest with you. So, but anyway, 60 is fair. Okay, we're going back to back LL Bean, which I love as a brand. Where are we at? You see that? LL Bean, chore jacket, barn jacket. This thing is in excellent condition for being, I think it's vintage. Here's the back. This is such a high quality piece. The style number, or the style code, I think is CQ93. I don't know if that's going to be necessary. I have this, it's got the green corduroy collar. I love LL Bean as a brand. It is excellent for resale. I mean, even their newer stuff, you sell it for a little bit less than some of the more exciting items. It's the name of the game. So what? A sale is a sale is a sale. It's a great brand for resale. This, I think, is vintage. So I'm going to list it at $100. And there are comparables with this, like this color, the green corduroy, that have sold for even more. I even saw one that I think sold for $120 on auction, which doesn't normally happen. That seems like it went over the expected resale value for something pre-owned. XL size, great color. It is so clean, really nice on the, and it's lined. Can you see that? It's got that like little interior lining towards the bottom. I'm not sure what you call that. Anyway, excellent shape. I love LL Bean. That's $100 for that. And let me show you these boots. These are LL Bean kangaroo upland boots. See the fronts. It's the sole. I actually have these listed for $120. This is a really good find. Another extremely high quality item made by them. Can you see that it says Gore-Tex right there? The insoles are clean. The soles are in great shape. There's plenty of life left in them. These, I think I priced them at $120 because again, I'm the only one that's got an 11. I think if I remember correctly, I did these listings a day or two ago, but I fully expect them to sell between $100 and $120. This is one where, if I got an $80 offer, would I take it? I don't know, because I think there's less seasonality with a boot like this, as opposed to the Patagonia bomber jacket, but I could be wrong. I'm just making assumptions. Maybe that's wrong. But I think these sell between $100 and $120. So we got a $100 chore jacket from LL Bean, and then these amazing boots for $120. And I paid regular price for all of this. So I think this jacket was either $8.99 or $9.99. And then these boots were $5.99 or $6.99, like $6, $7, $8, something like that. I always say I should check more, but I almost never pay attention to that. So LL Bean, fantastic brand. I don't know if these are vintage or not. I don't think they are. I could be wrong. The style number is, well, it says item number 178398. Kangaroo, upland. If you see them, grab them. If you see the LL Bean barn jacket, grab it. Even if it's not vintage, even if it's not that color, excellent brand to resell. Okay, this one I struggled with a little bit because first, it is a vintage Coach. I think it is a Legacy Devon. The reason I say I think is because I had trouble finding comps on the number that's inside the bag purse. It is 1014 104-322. Nice brown color, but there wasn't a whole lot to go on. Now, vintage coach is smoking hot right now, so you should be looking for it. Hopefully some of you are finding it. I'm going to suggest you price them higher, right? I have this listed for $150. I just recently sold a vintage coach. I forget what the number was, but I sold that for $125 in under 24 hours. So you can always say, well, maybe you priced it a little bit too low. Because of that style, there were ones that were selling in the $200 to $300 range. Whatever, I'll take the $125. I have this listed for $150. It's really clean on the inside. And vintage coach is just smoking hot right now. So 1014-322. I don't know. I think that's a legacy Devon, but it's not my wheelhouse, and I just could not find any like really true exact comps. It's definitely real, definitely vintage. So I'm shooting for 150. Let's see what happens. All right, next item. There's nothing really that special about an Olympic USA hoodie except for the fact that this is the Kith brand. So Kith this is not an old brand. I think they were founded in like 2010 or 2011. They only have 16 retail locations worldwide. So everything that they make is kind of like Supreme. Everything they make is very limited edition, small supply. And I don't think we're in 2025. Are we in an Olympic year? I don't follow it a ton. Maybe it's 26, 28. I know they used to vary it every 4 years and then they stacked it so that it was every 2. Not exactly sure how it all breaks down, but Kith limited edition USA Team USA Olympics hoodie. Let me show you there's the tag, the Kith tag. This is 100% authentic. Go inside and then look at the tags on the inside here as well. So 100% cotton, 100% authentic. You do have to pay attention to it because Kith, because of the way they produce, which is limited quantity, and it's always usually very high value. Some of the stuff sells out pretty quickly, so on the resale markets or the secondary markets, the price can go up pretty quickly. With that comes counterfeiting, and there are fake Kith items in the world, so you do have to pay attention to that. This one is completely real, very high quality, really well made, and I have it listed for $120. I don't know the fact that, you know, because it's USA related and not something else, that maybe that drops the amount of people or limits the amount of people that would be interested in it. Maybe not selling it just for the sake of it being the Kith brand. But $120 on that. Definitely pay attention to Kith items. But again, you have to be a little bit careful because some of the items floating around in resale land could be fake. So pay attention to that, but $120 listed on that one. As for when it's going to sell, I don't sell a ton of Kith, so I'm not really sure. So it's shoot for the stars or, you know, shoot for nothing at all in my world. So it's a matter of time, as with anything, but I'm on the high end at 120, so we will see what happens. But if you didn't know that Kith was a brand to pay attention to in resale, now you know. Next item I want to show you here, if you have never seen this tag, this is Bad Birdie. This is a Bad Birdie golf polo. Golf season, going to be in full swing, no pun intended, here in just a little bit. Unfortunately, I have a Christmas themed shirt here, so maybe that would slow it down a little bit, but it is a golf polo. So even though it's Christmas, I'd still rock it on the golf course in June, July, August. This is a brand new with tags shirt. It's from 2022. Better picture of the tag. I don't know what this retailed for. I think I'm gonna list it for $35. The theme of the shirt is like Santa with his reindeer on a golf cart. We got some elves with, you know, holding onto the bags, working as caddies. It's kind of hilarious, but Bad Birdie, if you see that and you've been skipping it, I think I've done that before I knew that this was a bolo brand to pay attention to. I don't do it anymore, so I've learned my lesson, but I hope it's new to you. So if you see them, you know, there's so many different sort of styles that they produce, or like graphic styles, so it's hard to say which ones sell better than others, but it's a good brand. Golf season coming up very, very soon. Put this one on your radar, write it down, look for it when you're in stores. This is a men's size large. I think it sells for 35 bucks. What do you think? Green color, pretty cool, even though it's Christmas. I'm going to guess and say I still sell it in the summer season, but stranger things have happened, so who knows? But I mean, you're going to get the most use out of it on the golf course in the season rather than buying this around the holiday because it's holiday themed, right? Am I right? Anyway, $35 on that. Bad Birdie, add that one to your list. For the last one, these little mini furnaces, I feel like what I'm going to do is I'm going to start buying these year round. Sometimes like in the June, July, August months, or let's say before that, maybe around March or April, I stop sourcing them. I'm not gonna do that anymore because every single one of these sells for me really quickly. This brand is one of the harder ones to find. Winnower. It's a power furnace model PF 5200. You can adjust the heat from 50 degrees all the way up to 80. So obviously test it, and you can do that really quickly in store. But I'm gonna pick these up year round because every one of them sells and it seems to sell quick. I'm the only one right now that has this on the internet, and you can get $50 to $60 in the core winter months for these. I have this listed at 50, so for me it's gonna sell between $40 and $50. We're moving into spring. But these are so useful in so many ways. There's a fan setting as well, but going up to 80 degrees, these little suckers are powerful. So keep your eye out for them, especially Winnower. Hard to find, easy to sell, and that's kind of what the business is all about. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something. It's time for me to go throw some weights around, and that is all I have for you. Thank you for sitting in with me today rather than go in store. Sometimes it's just easier to do it here. So that's all I've got. Thanks, bye.